Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 114 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. And today's question was sent by Kaya, and she writes, Hi again for Ask Vidas and Ausra. How do you deal with the organ loft getting cold in winter? It doesn't even get that cold here in Seattle compared to Vilnius. But now that winter is on the way, I'm thinking of keeping blankets here. Do you ever find that it's too cold to practice for very long? First of all, Kaya is helping us with transcribing our audio teachings.
Yeah, she's a great help. Thank you, Kaya.
Without her doing the work of transcription ourselves would be very difficult and long work. She's very fast at typing and transcribing. Thank you so much, Kaya. And now going back to the question, I remember, Osha, that you once worked in a very cold church, right?
Yes, that's right.
The Holy
Holy
Cross.
Cross Church in Vilnius, yes.
What did you do then?
Well, there was not so much to do because the priest did not let me to put some electric device, heater to keep me not as cold, to keep me warmer. So I just had to dress up very warmly. But it wouldn't help so much after sitting and playing for a longer time. So that's a real struggle. The one thing could help, bring with you warm tea or hot tea,
That's a great suggestion.
some hot
I
liquids, to
kind
drink.
of kind of neglected this and thought about only clothes and blankets, but now warm beverages are great.
Yes, and gloves, special gloves are very good too, where you cut off the finger part of gloves,
Fingertips.
fingertips, yes, and to play with them. That's also a possibility.
You could do this yourself, or you could buy the specially prepared gloves without fingertips.
Yes, another thing that I found useful during winter time while practicing at church, you don't wear an organ shoes at that time.
Why?
Because you can get your toes frozen, actually, because the organ shoe is so sort of tight, and your toes cannot move well enough in those shoes, so you can freeze them very easily, and that's what I have experienced myself many years ago in Anikshi when I was playing organ recital in the January, I believe.
And you had your organ shoes
Yes.
and thin socks.
Well, socks were okay, but of course you cannot add, like woolen sock in the organ shoes
Hmm.
unless you would get maybe two size bigger shoes.
So your shoes should be quite wide and
Yes.
to be able to fit thick socks.
But women organ shoes usually is very narrow,
Hmm.
so it's better than don't use them.
Hmm. Just learn and adjust and prepare to play with your regular shoes, not necessarily street shoes, because in the winter time
Or you
it's
just use, woolen socks. That's a possibility too.
woolen socks.
Yes,
Exactly, yeah,
that's the best possibility
in winter.
in winter.
Mm. Uh, if you use some kind of other shoes, please wipe your feet at the special carpet so that your pedals will not be, you know, in, with,
Muddy,
yes, your pedals will get muddy otherwise.
especially in winter time when we have so much, at least in Lithuania, salt and sand on the streets.
Hmm. But today, I guess you can also bring some electric heaters,
Yes, I think
fans.
that's also the best solution too.
Where to put them?
And remember when I was playing Klavierübung Part 3,
Yes.
when was my last doctoral recital at Lincoln, I played in the Cornerstone Chapel, which had also no heat, or at least very not enough heat, because there was, I think, like 10 grades Celsius plus 10.
Plus 10.
Yes,
In the room.
not minus 10. Yes, in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite cold. So I had a heater, and it was standing next to me actually on the organ loft. So it helped me a lot.
Now we don't have this problem so much in our church because university keeps the heating during
But
the winter.
but still, it gets pretty cool. Not now, not in November, for example, but I think in December, January, February it will be cold.
If you play there for hours
Yes.
without moving, then it gets cold. You have to, I think, make frequent breaks in general, right? Stretch and walk basically, and drink some tea from
Yes.
the thermos.
But yes, I would not suggest for you to practice for long hours, if it's really cold in the room. It's not good for you.
So maybe majority of the practice could be done at home on the table or on piano if you have one.
Yes.
Excellent.
And the most frustrating thing is when you have to play recital during winter time, and you sit down on the organ bench and you have to start playing, and you just feel that you cannot, move your fingers. I had this feeling so many times, and I just hate it.
The last time I felt very cold was a few years ago when I first played uh, an hour-long improvisation recital on the occasion of inaugurating the newly restored organ in Mosėdis, and this is northern Lithuania part next to the Latvian border, and it wasn't winter but it was cold. So what I had those
It was late fall, I believe.
late fall, uh, like today we're recording in November. So I had those gloves without fingertips, and they helped me a lot actually. I had to practice a little bit ahead of time on different organs to get used to the feeling with playing with gloves. But finally, it helped so much that I wasn't really cold when playing. But the trick is to get a pair of gloves that are a little bit tight. They have to fit very, very tight. Maybe one size smaller than normal, or two sizes smaller. They would stretch, of course. They should be very thin um, gloves, and they should stretch like a pair of socks, basically. Feeling that would be on your palm, but it helps a lot. And wonderful, guys. Experiment in the winter. Please keep yourself warm and drink a lot of hot beverages.
But don't drink any alcohol.
No.
Actually, some Lithuanian organists do that.
Yes, yes.
Yes, when we traveled through Lithuania, and sometimes we could, find many alcohol bottles empty inside of the organ. So don't do that.
Yes. Because it's a tricky feeling, right? Um, yes, you will feel warmer, but just for a brief time.
Yes, and when it will be even colder, I would say so.
Mhm. And please keep sending us your questions. We love helping you grow. This was Vidas.
And Ausra,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.